One of the things I love about math is that it's based upon principles, and principles cannot change. That's why 2 plus 2 will always equal 4, because it's based upon a principle that will never change. And progress is the same exact way. See, progress is actually based upon principles that if we do, we will succeed, because principles always work. And one of these principles is actually found in the law of reaping and sowing, that what we put in is what we're going to get out. And I like to sum it up in this formula. Progress equals inputs times time times efficiency. But if we do these things, we will see progress, because once again, it's founded upon a principle that will never change. Input is what you do. Time is how long you do it, and efficiency is how well you do it. So how can we become better at this formula so we can see more progress in our life? Well, let's break it down step by step. So an input is what you do. And how can we get better at doing what we do? Well, I love what Ecclesiastes 9:10 says. It says, whatever your hand finds to do, do it with your might. For there is no work or device or knowledge or wisdom in the grave where you're going. The principle in this verse is very simple. Whatever you're doing, do it with your might, because when you die, you can no longer do it anymore. And we have that same mindset with the inputs, with the work we put in, we will see great progress. See, if we do something with our might, we're going to do it better. And because we do it better, we're going to get better results, because our inputs are creating better outputs for ourselves. In other words, by simply putting in more effort, we can have better inputs. And by having better inputs, we can have more progress in life. Now, the second part to having great inputs is focus. Focus is your mental ability to eliminate distraction. And the more focused you are, the more progress you see, because you have better inputs. So how can we have better focus? The way to have better focus is actually very simple. All you have to do is eliminate distraction. Whether that means turning off notifications on your phone or going to a quiet place, regardless, if you have less distraction, you'll be more focused. And by being more focused, you'll make better progress, because you have more effective inputs. And these two things combined, focus and working with our might, working with effort, will help us to make great progress, because we have great inputs. The second part to this equation is time. That if you work for a longer time, you can make more progress, because you have more time that you're putting inputs in for. So how can we become better and more efficient at using our time? Well, I love one thing Alex Hormozi said about this. He said how people have 24 hours in a day that they're already using up. So it's not necessarily about adding more things, it's actually about what you're willing to eliminate, what you're willing to give up. And by giving up more things, you can have more time in your schedule. But it's harder to just simply add something to your schedule. And the way this played out for me was in giving up sleep. See, during last summer, I was working 2 jobs, and for one of the jobs, I was waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning to work. So from Monday to Thursday, I got about 3 hours or 4 hours of sleep a night. And the reason why I did that was so I could have more time. See, despite working, I still had a lot of time to put in inputs, because I eliminated something from my schedule. I eliminated sleep, which gave me more hours in my day. And that's one thing we can do. By eliminating something from our schedule, we'll have more time to put in good inputs so that we can make great progress in our lives. The only problem is, because I was giving up sleep, I had less energy, and that greatly affected the progress I was making, because I couldn't be as efficient when working. See, efficiency is the third variable, the third part of this equation to have great progress. And for missing this, our inputs and our time will become less valuable. To become more efficient, all you have to do is work smarter. For example, as a basketball player, I love getting shots up, because it helps me to improve my game. However, if I just shoot 100 shots from one spot, I'm not going to make great progress. Even though I have a lot of inputs and I'm spending a lot of time, I'm not very efficient, and that's going to greatly negatively affect the progress I could be making. However, if I change up what I'm shooting, if I shoot a shot from the corner and go to the other corner, then go to the free throw line, if I change up my spots and have more availability, I can make greater progress, because I'm working smarter. I'm working with more efficiency. And when we combine efficiency with putting in a lot of time and having a lot of inputs, we're going to make great progress in our lives, because this is based upon a principle. So to make great progress, all you have to do is have a lot of inputs, spend a lot of time, and be smart, be efficient when working, and you will see progress. If you like this type of content, please subscribe. I post a short every day, post a long form video like this at least once a week. Also, I have a book that just came out. It's called Controlling the Controllable, How Anyone Can Become Influential. And in the book, I lay out the principles of becoming influential, that if you do, you will become influential. Because as seen in this video, principles always work. So check that out on Amazon if you want to buy it. And besides that, I'll see you guys next week.